everyone, welcome to my space here. Today I have a relationship toolbox for you called Energetic Erection, which yes, the same name from my blog post from my weekly tarot reading that I do. So if you want to check that out, there might be messages there for you. But yes, today I'm going to teach you how to get yourself up. Totally, this is for everyone. Male, female, remember gender doesn't apply here, so we're going to give ourselves an erection today. Oh my gosh, how exciting. So I was just starting here, and I really want to talk about just creating pleasure for ourselves, and I'm going to share with you, I'm going to really go a little bit high intense here with some like cardio, because we're going to work with the body today, which I love because also I pulled the King of Pentacles for this week. And it's really about, the physical world, our physical body. And like, it's about self-worth and feeling really good about ourselves. It's about self-respect and really honoring ourselves and really, taking care of this beautiful body because it deserves it. And it's your home and it's your vessel and it's like your vehicle, right? So, you want to take care of it. You want to make sure it's in good condition. So as I was beginning here, I want to do a little bit of, because right when we're going to get ourselves up and we're going to create this energetic erection, I had this really funny thought as I was, preparing to come on here and share this with you about protection, right? And I was all in my mind about energetic protection. I'm connecting with my angels, and it's really important, especially when we're in our sexual energy, to really, be, especially our primal energy, because it's the full moon in Aries today. So yeah, that's how I feel, like really like full of energy, so much energy. I have so much energy, and it feels great to be alive. And so many people feel dead right now. Think about it. It's autumn. We're decaying, we're dying, and we're feeling it. And if you don't feel like you're dying right now, like that's great. Like I feel like I could never feel more alive. Like it's just when you connect to this energy within yourself, and you really connect with your inner masculine energy. It's the part of you that's like eternal, right? So really connecting to that part of you by really having a really healthy relationship with your body and your sexual energy, which is also your creative energy. So when we don't use this energy, or we're using it in an unhealthy way, then it can like build up and it can create disease in your body. It can make you feel anxious. It can make you feel depressed. And when we get this energy flowing, so that's what I'm going to teach you today, how to get the energy up, right? I'm going to get this energy up. Get it up. Let's get it up. And about really creating this pleasure. And more women should be creating pleasure for themselves and really getting themselves, amped and turned on, And it's like turning on that light. When you turn on that light, it helps your mind so much. So this is also great if you struggle with mental health. And that was in my reading as well this weekend. We can feel it, and sometimes we allow the weather, especially here in the northern hemisphere, to dictate how we feel, right? We can't let something that's completely out of our control how we feel. We have to turn on the light. And the sun is always shining behind the clouds, and the sun is like your soul, and the clouds are like your, thoughts. And when we can clear out our thoughts by really anchoring into our body and like turning on that light and getting lit, then it like casts out the darkness. And you can see things more clearly. You have a very clear vision. And this, time of year is all about intention and being really connected to our own energy and seeing beyond the illusions, right? Seeing beyond the cloudy, sky, seeing beyond and rising above. If you were to go up really high above, it would be sunny, and you would be able to see beyond the illusion of the density, right? So we can create a lot of fears in our minds, especially when we're not moving our bodies and we're gonna shake our butts. So this is great, like really connecting to your body and connecting to places that you don't really think about how often we just sit on our butts, This is really about, kicking our own butt, right? That's what I'm going to do today, because we're going to do some boxing, and I'm super excited about it because, oh my gosh, there's so much energy happening. There's so much expansion on the planet right now, and I can just feel so much energy, like just exploding. I just see these explosions kind of, but they're beautiful. It's like these beautiful explosions are just igniting, and we're just moving into some really unknown territory, and it can seem very like frightening, but if you're seeing and you're rising above and you're connecting to a higher part of yourself, it's beautiful, babies. So like seriously, I want to help you connect with your beautiful body and when you do that, that's when you clear your mind and you're going to manage your emotions. And this is where it's going to help you with your relationships. Because, okay, sometimes when we have illusions and we have these fears that are yelling at us and telling us that we're not good enough or whatever they are, like your doubt is going to, every time we're wanting to expand or grow or feel more confident about who we are, like the voices of doubt and fear are going to be the loudest then. So this is how I want to teach you to manage them. Because you're going to have fears, you're going to have doubts, you're going to have worries. Instead of projecting them onto your relationships and, staying stuck in blame and feeling this energy of helplessness, and that's totally the solar plexus chakra, feeling like you're not valuable, like you're not good enough, like you don't deserve better. And you do, so if you feel like you're stuck in any situations where you're not receiving the respect you think you deserve, then where can you learn how to, instead of blaming or projecting it onto your partner, and this person needs to treat me better, how can you learn how to treat yourself better so that you can lead by example? And when you can own your issues, when you can own your own wounding and your own triggers and your own emotions, you are going to take the lead. And, your relationship's going to evolve, or it's going to, you're just going to learn how to walk away because you know that you deserve better. So this is if you're feeling stuck in a relationship, or if you're mending your heart, and you're feeling like you're going to be alone forever, or you're scared or you're sad and you think, oh, I'm just not good enough, there must be something wrong with me, or you have fears of rejection that are keeping you isolated and stuck in mental patterns of beating yourself up and breaking your own heart. I want to teach you how to mend your beautiful heart, because your open, beautiful heart is what will really be the change in the world and what will really make a difference, because nothing gets me more pissed than the things that are happening in the world that are out of my control, especially our political, and I don't mean to get really political, but we can feel the energies of politics, right? We can feel this heaviness, and it's just that time of year, right? And everything's bombarding you, and there's, this is one thing I cannot stand about politics, is they're constantly cutting each other down in order to make each other look like I'm the better person, and it's just no, we shouldn't be using politics as a way to, put people down. We should be, celebrating them for what they believe, and we should be no, but this isn't what I believe here. These are my views, but I'm not going to put you down and make you look bad just so I think I look better, to get my point across. You don't have to put people down in order to get your point across. You can really, say, oh, I see that, you can have respect for them, right? And there's just this really lack of respect, especially, just for human rights, and it can make you angry. I have this animal inside me, and that's what I'm feeling with this full moon, is I feel like a wolf. And I resonate with wolves because me and my brother grew up in a family where when we were really young, we had to learn how to survive, right? And the wolf, the spirit of the wolf teaches you how to survive. We had a lot of times where we were neglected, and we had to kind of fend for ourselves because our parents weren't there mentally or emotionally, and they would neglect us often, and we would feel very like we'd have to take care of ourselves, right, at a very young age. So this can create a lot of anger, because as a child you want to be taken care of, right? You need to feel needed and accepted and seen and heard. And our parents were there, right? They were there physically, but they weren't there emotionally or mentally, so they couldn't see us, they couldn't hear us, they couldn't they were just too wrapped up in their own issues in their own mind. And so oftentimes we didn't have that connection, and we felt very alone. This can create a very sense of a lone survivor, a lone wolf, I have to do everything on my own, and then you feel very burdened, and then you feel like nobody wants you or cares about you, and you start to feel helpless. But really the spirit of the wolf teaches you how to channel those energies of learning how to take care of yourself, rather than being angry at people or blaming your parents because they couldn't take care of you. How can you take care of your own needs? And this is funny because I have a card in one of my decks that is called Angels and Ancestors Oracle, and it has a card with a wolf on it. It says, take care of your needs. So the spirit of the wolf will come to you to take care of your needs, and I feel the spirit of the wolf with this full moon. So just feeling you just want to and the wolf teaches me so I'm going to teach you how to channel your anger today, because when you feel lots of anger, instead of projecting it onto your partners or your environments, or even to the random stranger who cuts you off in traffic, and you lash out on them, or your child does something and it triggers you and you yell at them, or your partner does something and you lash out and call them a name, instead of creating these blow-ups, instead of creating fights or arguments or drama or chaos, learning how to, and I saw this growing up. I saw, chaos and drama. I watched my parents, create, there was a very volatile environment, so we had to really learn how to, it was like you had to walk around on eggshells. You never knew when things were going to change, so you always had to be on guard, right? And that's kind of the wolf, and always on that protection energy. And sometimes that protection energy can get, if it's not channeled and it's not healthy, because that energy is good. It's good to protect, people you care about. That's kind of the wolf, in my opinion. It's good to, feel angry about, protecting your country, and feeling like the things that are happening are, they make you angry because you have no control over them. Like, you can get, and like, I get mad at Donald Trump almost all the time. Like, I am furious. I can't even watch anything where I see him because he creates so much anger in me, so. And instead of allowing it to, destroy me or, keep me plagued with guilt, I turn it into, creativity. I turn it into power, and I turn it into strength because I'm fucking powerful. And, a lot of times, to me, he's teaching us where to own our own power. If we feel powerless to him, like, why do we feel that way? And how can we investigate that? And how can we, use it to be the change and make the changes in our life? And to me, it's just like, it's not just about voting. It's about really taking the action steps to be a better version of yourself, to take your power back, to own your strength, to own your power, to own your power, to own your voice, to own your right, and really take care of yourself. So with that being said, let's get into it. I'm ready to punch some things. And it's so funny because I'll always imagine myself, like, I also love to imagine, Donald Trump as a child, and like, how was he raised? What made him who he is today? And then you can see him from this place of like, maybe he really needed more nurturing and more loving and more, care. And maybe if he was taught how to, handle and channel his emotions, he wouldn't be, the person he is today. So not that he's bad or that he's good, he just is. And if he evokes any emotion in you, you have to use him as your mirror, So there's just a lot going on with like the political climate, and it can really affect your emotional body. And if you're not aware of your own father wounds, and that's what the King of Pentacles is here to teach us, is how to use our sexual energy in a healthy way, like, then you feel very powerful, right? You feel like you can make a difference. You feel like by taking care of yourself and taking care of your body and taking care of your needs and meeting your own needs, is enough, right? Like, you are enough as you are, and you don't need to, give your power away to certain things in order to make you feel valuable or strong or successful or worthy, right? Because you just are those things. You are born that way. Those are your God-given gifts. You are whole and worthy and perfect as you are. But a lot of times we let the mind and those illusions get in the way, right? So that's what I'm going to teach you how to do, is to connect to your body so you can clear your mind and connect to that energy that gets you fired up and turned on and just excited and lit. And like, it's your inner encourager, it's your inner motivator. And when you can become your own cheerleader, when you can become your own like discipline, like when you can do that for yourself and you can really get yourself, to this state mentally where you're building yourself up with your thoughts rather than putting yourself down with words that maybe like, and if you're angry, this is going to be great to, while we're punching, we're just going to imagine, if there's anyone that's ever, betrayed you or hurt you or, broke your heart, right? If there's any like, and what can happen if we don't channel this anger that we have towards these, people, instead of like harboring it and holding on to it and like, poisoning our own selves, our own mind, because what happens is we form these obsessive thoughts and we want to hurt this person, and like, we just think about how we could, get the next jab in, or how we can make them feel hurt in some way, and that's because we're hurting. And what can we do to, tend to ourselves and mend our hearts so that we're not hurting and we're not, trying to hurt other people as a way, and you're not trying to, right? You're never doing it. A lot of times we're doing this unintentionally, like we're hurting people with our words by gossiping about them. We're hurting people with our words by, calling them names, and your voice truly matters. And what you choose to talk about really, creates what you'll receive more of. So really learning how to care for yourself and care for your heart so that you can be more loving and more kind, and then you'll begin to receive that too. And as you begin to respect yourself and take care of your needs instead of abandoning yourself and then feeling angry about it because you betrayed yourself and you're keeping yourself stuck. But when you're angry, it's a call to take action. So this will be a great way. It's fun and it's easy, and it's going to be like about 6 minutes long. So, but it's going to require you to really connect to your core. So connect with your legs, connect with your body. Like I was saying, we were creating protection. We were helping cleanse our minds so that we could really, anchor into our bodies, anchor into our core. So you're going to engage your core, and I will leave the two songs that I'm listening to do this down below. I also have a 30-minute energetic wellness workout that I've created specifically with the playlist that I thought went the best with it, and that is available for purchase. If you would like that, you can go ahead and send me an email or follow me on Instagram and send me a DM there. But this little section is going to be focused on the solar plexus chakra. We're going to be working with Archangel Shamuel, and it's going to be that energy within you that, you know, like think of like success and worthiness and self-respect, right? All that we were just talking about. So connecting with this part of ourselves is going to require us to get engaged with the core, and we're going to go hard for 3 minutes. And like I said, I'll leave the 2 songs. This song is one of the songs that I use for my energetic wellness workout called the chakra cleanse that I had just mentioned. So if you find that this is something that you would like to explore further, because we're not just going to be targeting, like, you know, the physical part of our body and like getting a good workout in, but we're going to really be focusing on the energetics and really, you know, building ourselves up from the inside out, like getting ourselves lit, right? Getting ourselves turned on, getting ourselves feeling really good about ourselves, because we should feel good about ourselves. We should be proud of how far we've come, and we should learn how to focus on our strengths. We should learn how to focus on, you know, on our gifts, and focus on the things that make us feel very strong, because when we focus on those things, that's what we're going to become. So this kind of will help you let go of some doubts, let go of some fears, and open up to your inner power, open up to your inner strength, because you are fucking awesome. So let's go ahead and start. It's like just about jogging in place, but you want to get the hips involved. It's kind of like a boxer shuffle, so kind of start like that. Because that's what we're going to be doing, getting our arms involved. Because we're going to punch. Like I said, if you have any like past lovers or anything that have broken your heart, you know, and you want to forgive so you can open up to love again, you know, this is great for that. So, oh my gosh. So this is great for getting your frustrations out so that you can forgive, right? And instead of taking it out, you then, like, this helps me, like, when I channel it this way through music and through movement and through just like feeling my feelings. Then instead of like being angry or bitter or spiteful, like, I just want to love more deeply. So that's what we're going to be learning how to do here, is when you can take this time to take care of your needs, then you can show up in your relationships differently. Instead of creating fights or drama or chaos or rejection or abandonment, you create connection. Okay. I like to get my, slowly, it's going to feel like you're kind of, well, it feels for me like I'm on a machine. Engaging the core. And you're going to want to find a spot in front of you to focus. And just keep your focus there. We're just going to keep doing this. Go as slow or as fast as you need. But like I said, your intention is everything. You're getting your anger out, you're mad. I always like to imagine I'm punching Donald Trump or boxing him. Like, come on, motherfucker, I'll beat you up. And then I just laugh, because can you imagine me punching Donald Trump? It's good to get the breath involved. Because breath gives life to fire, right? We're creating that inner fire. Turning on that flame. Turning ourselves on. Casting out the darkness. Instead of beating yourself up inside, get it out externally. You don't even have to hurt anyone. Not with your words, not with your actions. Keep going, you got it. Woo! Nothing like some good Britney Spears. I like to stare intently. Your legs might be tired, I know mine are. Whew, good job. I'm so proud of you if you did that with me. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of myself, and that's another great thing to do for yourself. When you do these things and you take action to channel your energy into your body and into the earth rather than to projecting it onto other people, and creating drama or chaos in your life, really using it to discipline yourself and to really ground yourself, right? That's the King of Pentacles. He's the earth king. So physical movement, home, anything that makes you feel secure and strong, and that means taking care of your health. And there's two aspects of health that we neglect in this country, and that's mental and emotional. And we tend to feel, well, what we'll do is when we're not tending to our emotional and mental health is we'll abuse our bodies. We'll neglect them, we'll hurt them, right? And it can be really challenging to watch or take on the energy, because there's a lot of grief right now. And I'm experiencing a lot of grief personally in my own personal life. So this can really, make us feel suffocated. And when we do this cardio work for ourselves, it helps strengthen our lungs. And if you see COVID, it was attacking the lungs, right? And to me, that's our heart chakra, and our heart chakras are closed off. And really getting into our physical exercise not only helps heal our cardiovascular health and our physical heart, but it helps us open up energetically, and so that we can receive more love, and we can receive more peace, we can receive more happiness and joy, and you deserve to feel that way. We weren't taught how to, especially if your parents neglected you or didn't know anything about, meeting your emotional or mental needs, If they struggled with their mental health, you probably will too. If they struggled with, their emotions, and a lot of times, to me, it's this energy of narcissism and this energy of completely disconnecting from your emotions, they're not valuable at all. And this really will disconnect you from your feminine energy that's compassionate and loving, and then you won't ever be compassionate or loving towards yourself. You're only going to beat yourself up in your mind. You're only going to think negative thoughts, and that will keep you, harming yourselves, whether it's through, consuming too much alcohol or consuming too much food or consuming too much, just whatever it is. It doesn't even have to be physical. It could be consuming negative, continuing your negative thought patterns. That's just going to keep you stuck, and it's not going to allow you to expand your heart. And I think I'm here to teach heart-centered living. So I want to help you mend your heart. This is how I mended my heart. And like I said, now that I channel those energies into activity, then I don't take them out on, people that aren't, the problem or the issue. It's just nobody makes you feel that, if you can channel your emotions, then you own them. And then you don't just you're not triggered all day long by other people's behaviors, because you see that the way that people behave is their own coping mechanism, their own, they're just living life based off how they, learned how to survive in childhood. So then you can have a lot more compassion for people, and you don't take anything personally anymore. Okay, let's do one more. So yes, it's really this energy of really learning how to kind of, take care of your mental and emotional health, because, our inner father is supposed to teach us how to do those things, but because we neglect them and we don't think they're valuable, think about our society. It shames the positive vibe, it loves the positive vibes, but it shames the opposite end of the spectrum, because the opposite end of joy and happiness and positivity is sadness and grief and loss and pain and hurt. And we shame that part, but when we can begin to balance that part out, we can begin to include, that yes, we can feel sad, we can feel angry. We don't have to hide those emotions. There are very primal emotions, and that's why working with the spirit of the wolf helps you release your aggression, and it helps you with your sexuality, just feeling turned on. Like I said, like creating pleasure for ourselves. Our pleasure is our power, and if we can really own that, we can create our own pleasure rather than seeking outside to consume to feel pleasure. Like we don't allow ourselves to relax until we get home, and we get home to our home because we think we've associated our physical homes with safe and secure, but that's an attachment. Because what if you didn't have a home? There's homeless people all over. But there's people sleeping outside right now when it's cold. Like they're sleeping on the ground. They go without food, and so I'm not saying that it's bad that you have a home, but I'm saying, do you give thanks for it? Do you, and don't attach your safety and security to a home. Your safety and your security is in your mind. If you can create a safe place in your mind, then you'll create a safe place in your heart, and your heart is your home. So you could be anywhere, there could be chaos surrounding you, but if you can learn how to drop into your heart and see beyond your environment, then you can really, create a brand new reality from the inside out that allows for you to actually attract things that are really safe and secure. Like it will help you create more security and safety actually in the physical plane when you can begin to feel safe in your own mind. And a lot of people don't feel safe in their own minds because maybe they grew up in chaos, or they grew up, even in this society, it's not, we've been, think about this gets me really angry because my father passed away, and he wasn't really truly allowed to express his fullest self and his sexuality, and he struggled with his sexuality, and so he had fears that he might be killed, or for coming out or being who he truly was, right? Or not just that, but losing the love of his family members, so it kept him scared to be who he truly was. And you think about our society, it teaches young kids at a very young age to deny parts of their sexuality, and that these certain things, these views are wrong and those ones are right, and it really creates a lot of isolation. It creates this disconnect within us, and what we really want to do is create connection. And when we create, and to me, stillness creates connection, and just being with people and accepting them for who they are, just listening to who they are, just accepting them for who they are, and not judging them, right? And that asks you to create a peace of mind. And really learning how to sit with your own emotions and not allow them to dictate how you react, but rather can you respond from this place of understanding and empathy and allowing them to express themselves fully. And that's what makes me angry, is because maybe my dad would still be here if he didn't have such if he didn't carry around such guilt and shame about who he was, and that takes a toll on your heart chakra. And he died from lung cancer, right? So from a lung related illness. And to me, all physical disease starts as an emotional or energetic, emotional, energetic, and mental. It's like a root there. So when you can get to the mental and the emotional, you can allow yourself to truly be who you are, and you can show up for yourself instead of neglecting yourself or abandoning yourself or punishing yourself. When you're feeling sad or angry, really showing up for yourself and being present and still and saying, wow, I'm still lovable even though I'm angry as fuck today, or I'm still lovable even though all I can do is cry. I still deserve that. I still deserve love. I still deserve to be held. And a lot of our times we don't allow ourselves to even hold ourselves when we're crying, or we don't even allow ourselves to cry because maybe when we cried as children we were neglected or punished or put away, or sometimes even slapped or hit. I know I was. And so when I would express myself, and I would try to relieve my nervous system and learn how to emotionally regulate myself, I was punished for self-soothing. And that's what crying is. It's self-soothing. It's when you cry, it's going to create it's going to actually relieve you, and you don't have to carry around burdens anymore, and you can let them go. And then when you let them go, then you don't carry around so much heaviness, especially in your heart. And when you carry heaviness in your heart, you're going to think about it. It's going to weigh you down here, so it's going to feel like you're weighing a ton on your back, right? So as you begin to, heal your heart and let those things go and forgive and accept, then it helps you, relax, and it creates this, it creates this healing on our own. Our bodies were designed to heal themselves, and if we can actually stop and still ourselves and listen to what our body needs, then we can really, listen to it and take action, right? That's what our masculine teaches us to do. It listens, and then it teaches us how to take action to get what we do need, or to create what we do need. Oh, you're not getting your needs met here. How can you do it, and how can you do it for yourself? How can you take action to meet this need so that you feel better, so that you feel at peace, so that you feel, happy and joyous? Because, we can't feel happy and joyous unless we're feeling our sadness and our grief, because we can't have one without the other. You have to feel both. Well, you don't have to. You can deny one aspect of it, but if you deny your grief and your pain and your loss, and you don't allow yourself to feel that, you don't allow it to like completely, consume you and, drown you and suffocate you. You have to allow those emotions of like suffocation, and you have to begin to, work on your breath and breathe through it, breathe through the discomfort of like the suffocation that you're feeling from your own emotions, right? And allow the emotions to make you, cry, release the tears. And you can do this on your own, just create, and then you'll create this sanctuary within yourself that allows you to feel like you're in your mother's womb, which is that energy of creation, right? And that's where we were created. And so creating this sanctuary within ourselves, and we do that when we make our bodies feel good, and we take action to make our bodies feel good by what we eat, or what we choose to consume, or what we choose to if we choose to sit, choosing to take action and move your body is really important. And to me, it's all about having fun, because if you're not having fun with it, it's not really going to be, it's just going to feel like another chore to do, and you already have a ton of things to do because you're a busy human. You already have your to-do list. Taking care of yourself really isn't on that. So when you have to, you have to begin to reprioritize taking care of yourself and put that first, and everything else comes second, right? Everything on your to-do list comes second, but you come first. And how can you prioritize and reschedule your time so that, where can you let go of certain activities that aren't necessarily serving you, or, that you don't necessarily need? You don't have to do all the things right now. There's plenty of time to get things done, but can you believe that there's enough time, right? And we tend to think when we believe that we are not enough, we're not going to see, there's not going to be enough time to do this, there's not going to be enough time, there's not going to be enough resources, there's not going to be enough, and it's that survival scarcity mindset that keeps you burning yourselves out and not feeling pleasure at all. And then you're seeking your addictions, you're seeking the TV to relax you, you're seeking, the partner to relax you, you're seeking the food to relax you or comfort you or give you pleasure, you're seeking sex to make you feel pleasurable, you're literally, neglecting or punishing or harming your body by taking action on those things, rather than, if you would just take the time out and schedule time to take care of you, then you could show up in your relationships in the world in a whole new way, from this place of feeling really, strong. And that's the King of Pentacles, in my opinion, and working with the core is all about strength and finding that inner strength within yourself. And we all have it within us, but sometimes it can be hard to find because we have to go and search for it. It's not really easy, honestly. You have to really sit yourself still, and you have to listen to yourself. And a lot of us have trouble listening, and you can even see this politically, that a lot of people have a hard time listening because nobody listened to them as a child, and so they learned at a really young age that, I'm not heard, so then they can kind of lash out. And I did this all the time, I wasn't heard in my home, so I would have outbursts in class, and I would call these bursts of excitement, and that's what an energetic erection is. It's an energetic boner, and sometimes I just get really fucking excited for no reason at all. And that's what I've been learning, is you don't have to have a reason outside of yourself to feel happiness or joy or excitement or pleasure. You can just feel good because you're you, you can be excited, and I would have outbursts, I would disrupt the classroom because I would just, I don't know, say something just whatever random, or I would just, bust out laughing, or I would just have outbursts, because, especially sitting in a classroom for 8 hours, and we need to move our energy, right? And we're just, the education system, it's a whole nother subject, but, they don't really, if we taught them how to still their minds every day at the beginning of, school, we would really teach them how to focus and how to be more attentive, right? And that would be including mindfulness practices and meditation practices into our school system, because meditation and mindfulness isn't religious or spiritual at all. It's honestly scientific. It's, it really, really shifts your mind. It can shift your brain. And when you can focus, you can open up, and you can actually be attentive, and you can hear what people are saying. You can hear what your teachers are saying, and you can absorb more because your ego isn't chattering all day long, especially kids that grow up in homes where, their parents are chaotic or loud or calling them names, or, there's domestic violence, or there's any kind of neglect, their ego can get really loud. And so this teaches them at the beginning of the day to, to focus their mind, to still their mind, to quiet their mind, and know that they aren't the thoughts of their ego. They're not the thoughts of the chaos or the drama or the name calling or the meanness or the, the neglect. That's not who they are. But there's this part of them that's, and they connect with their spirit. They connect with their energy. And spirit and energy are the same thing. So we can say energy, and that can sound more scientific, or we can say spirit, and that can sound more religious and spiritual, but it's like we're learning that they're kind of the same, and it's just this energy of consciousness. And your consciousness, you're light. You're not the darkness of your mind. You're not the loud thoughts of your mind. You are the light. You are the stillness. And when you really develop your intuition and you sit with yourself, and you discipline yourself, like running. When I run, my mind becomes still because, I'm connecting to, my center. Like I'm connecting to my body. I'm anchoring to a part of me that's, it's just energy running through you. And when it's like creating electricity, right? When you run, you're just creating heat in your body. It's also great to do yoga, like doing different mindful activities will really help you to, clear your mind, right? And then you can focus and you can feel more at peace and you can have more clarity. But sometimes we can get confused, and then that confusion makes us doubt. And then when we doubt, we procrastinate, or we sabotage, or we, whatever it is, and that's okay. But what can we learn to do here is be compassionate with ourselves when we see ourselves, doubting. And how can we lift our spirits up? How can we lift our energy? How can we lift our spirit? How can we lift our energy? How can we make ourselves feel better? So then we can get that higher vibration and begin to feel that sense of connection again, and saying, you are powerful, you can do hard things, you are strong. And that's our inner father. He'll encourage us. And maybe you didn't have fathers that encourage you. My father talked to me like I was probably the dumbest person alive, and that's just, kind of how he grew up, and that's how he was maybe spoken to as a child. And so he just passed that down to me, and I had this voice inside my head that would just demean me and put me down a lot all the time. And how can I learn to meet that voice with compassion and say, whenever I would hear those loud thoughts, and I would still myself, and I would hear my ego chatter and want to, put me down or call me names, or, tell me I wasn't good enough, I'd have to sit with it, acknowledge the darkness, and say, hey, that's not true. That's a lie. Like, you are worthy. You are valuable. You have to kind of do it like you're talking to another part of yourself. Maybe you imagine your little child self, Imagine it's a little kid you're talking to, That's always one of my favorite things to do, because I don't know, I just love talking to children, and it's just like comforting them and consoling them and telling them, you're beautiful and you're strong and you're powerful and you can do anything you want. This is my mantra lately. You can succeed and you will succeed. You can succeed and you will succeed. You can succeed and you will succeed, cheering yourself up, like making yourself feel good. And you have to really learn how to sit still and do that for yourself, rather than waiting for it to come outside of you. Because if you wait and you wait and wait, it's never going to come. And then you're going to feel like you're not enough. Like there must be something wrong with me, And that can kind of keep you in victim mentality. It can kind of keep you feeling stuck. But when you move your energy, when you move your energy, you're going to feel emotions, right? Because emotions are energy in motion, right? So by, moving yourself, you're moving energy, you're feeling, And a lot of us feel dead because we're not feeling, And we need to feel our emotions. That's what makes us feel alive. Like, I love running because I feel my heart beating. It feels like, I want to give up. My legs are burning, my heart, my chest is burning, my lungs are burning, and I can keep going, and I can keep going, And it makes you just feel like, that you can and you will, that you're stronger than you actually believe. And if you actually allow yourself to believe in your strength, because that's where it is, it's the belief. You have to get the belief. Otherwise, if you don't believe that you are, you won't act in that way. You won't act strong. You won't do the things you need to do in order to, stop harming yourself, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, energetically. If you feel attacked, or if you feel like you're in harm's way, how can you have the strength, right? And strength isn't just something that you have, it's something that you summon. It's something that that you cultivate, and you have to really cultivate this inner strength, because you have to remember that strength is not something that you physically exert. Strength is meeting people that aren't kind to you and having the strength to not take it personally and view them with compassion. Compassion is strength. Forgiveness is strength. Loving is strength. And we've been told for a long time that our strength comes from outside of us, but our strength comes from within. And you are powerful. You are courageous, and you are brave, and you are worthy, and you are valuable, and you are successful, and you will be victorious. I believe in you, and this is a great practice for just teaching how to really believe in yourself. So I was going to do one more, but I think I'm going to end it here. So I got a little chatty today, and that's okay, because I love to talk, I love to express myself, I love to communicate, and I'm sending you so much love. I hope this was helpful for you. I hope it was healing for you. Please take care of your body, take care of your mind, and I'll be back soon. Love ya. Happy full moon.